Disclaimer, the comments made in this video are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to offend anyone. Welcome back. Today we're diving into the wild world of activist logic, where definitions disappear, biology is offensive, and glitter doubles as a weapon. Grab your popcorn because this lineup is less debate and more stand-up comedy, whether they mean it or not. Nothing screams love wins like shoving your hand over someone else's camera, because nothing says tolerance like blocking the lens.
None of this. You can hurt that bill. Get in a little boss to hurt that bill. And double it. Yeah, for tipping. We got the QR code right now.
Honestly, God loves us all. And you know what? Because you can give it.
So for now, we're going to bring out, what am I doing?
Oh, that's what we're doing.
Miss Cupcake.
And Jesus breathes in love in the air. Everybody is love. Everybody is everybody. Yeah.
Watch closely. This is what tolerance looks like in action. Don't ask questions, don't record, just clap and nod. Because when you can't defend the idea, the best move is to hide the evidence. Transparency is supposed to be the point, but instead, we get censorship with sequins. If it's really about pride, then why all the panic at a camera? Seems like the closet just got a glittery rebrand. Here we have an activist who thinks woman is whatever you declare in the moment, like ordering from a Starbucks menu. Today I'm a double shot, no foam woman.
Trans women are not women. Okay. What's your name?
Sam.
Nice to meet you. Let's define our terms. A woman is an adult female with XX chromosomes. You tell me, what is a woman?
I think a woman is somebody who identifies as a woman.
Got it. So that's not a definition. That's like saying a table is something that identifies as a table. Give me an objective definition of
No,
how...
it's not. A table is an object.
Well,
A table can't identify as anything. It doesn't have
but
choice.
You have to give me an objective definition of what a woman is.
If I decided right now that I wanted to identify as a woman, I would be a woman.
Okay, but that doesn't answer the question.
I know, but
you
right
said-
now I'm a man, right? So if that
But you have
happened
to
right
tell
now,
me
I'd be a
what that
woman.
thing
So
is.
once a person makes the decision to identify as a woman,
Got it. No,
they're a woman.
that's a separate issue. What is a woman?
That's the definition.
No, I know, but you have to tell me what.
A person who identifies themselves as a woman.
But you have how do you know that they are that thing?
How do I don't need to know what they
No,
are.
no,
I can
no,
ask them if
not
I
that
want
they
to
need
know.
But there needs to be. You need to tell me what that thing is, though.
Somebody who. Okay,
You need
sorry,
to
we're
give
not
me-
getting anywhere. We're
you
not
need to-
getting
Well,
anywhere.
no,
We're not
it's
getting
important because it's like saying a giraffe is a thing that looks like a giraffe, or a coyote is a thing that looks like a coyote. It's called circular reasoning. You have to give me a actual definition.
I don't have to. I did give you a definition.
No. You said that a woman is something that thinks they're a woman.
So apparently being a woman is now just a vibe. You declare it and presto, instant womanhood. Forget chromosomes, forget biology. All you need is a strong imagination and maybe a TikTok account. When asked for a definition, the activist actually asked, what is definition? That's not philosophy, that's just stalling. Next thing you know, they'll be asking, what is question? Apparently being a woman isn't about biology anymore. It's about being a better person. Let's hear her logic.
That doesn't give me a definition. That's simply
What would you consider a definition then?
an adult female with XX
No.
chromosomes.
I mean, like, what makes that a definition?
I don't necessarily think that you can define a woman just by her chromosomes. Women are so much more than that. They come in a variety of shapes, sizes, colors. And I don't necessarily think that you can count out somebody who's trans just because they don't have a certain set of chromosomes. There are also people who are born, I'm drawing a blank.
Okay. Intersex?
Yes.
So XXY
yes.
or YYX?
Or just, or like
sure.
X0 with nothing.
So natural mutations upon the binary, essentially, right?
Yes. So,
but they don't have both sex organs that both operate, right?
Yeah, but that also I don't think necessarily works, right? Because if it's X,
One
just
is more
X,
dominant
and
than
there's
the
a.
So
Okay,
you're either
that's-
more male or more female, right? So you might have both a penis and vagina, but there's never been a case of someone who can impregnate themselves.
Okay. I also don't necessarily think that works for this situation, but I also want to say that one of my best friends is trans, and I would say that she's more of a woman than I am. I think that women define themselves by multiple things, not just their sex organs. If somebody asked me who I was as a woman, I would not say I have a vagina.
Totally fair.
I
See,
would.
No, I think you said something smart. So you said that person is more of a woman than you are. Therefore, you're grading off a definition of something accomplishes womanhood. What is that?
I think well, that's the thing too. And I do think that gets a little complicated, right? Because there are social norms for a gender, but I do think we try to break that, right?
No, for sure. But you said that specific friend is more of a woman than you are. Why?
I think she's a better person than me. I think she
so
lives
women are
life.
better people?
She's a better woman than I am. I'm not saying women are better people.
But what makes a woman a woman? Because you said she's more of a woman than you are. So I want to know what that definition is.
So we're told you can't decide womanhood by chromosomes, but also you can't decide it by appearance. Basically, you can't decide it at all. Yet somehow her best friend is more woman than she is. More woman. What does that even mean, extra estrogen points? When pressed for details, she admitted it's because her friend is simply a better person. Well, congratulations. We've officially turned biology into a moral contest. And when she couldn't defend it anymore, she tapped out of the debate like a UFC fighter in round 1. And now, theology class with Activist 101, womanhood is a feeling, words are made up, and apparently dictionaries are just religious propaganda.
Right, okay. I'm gonna let somebody else go.
That's all good. All right, Parker, what is a woman?
A woman is an adult human person that has a desire to be in accordance with a particular set of social and cultural norms that are typically associated with a female. Now, define a man. Define a man.
You're looking at one, XY chromosomes in a
Okay,
adult
but does God the Father have XY chromosomes prior to incarnation?
We literally have a religious
He's
topic
a father and he's he/him, but he's not a man?
We have a religious
Wait, so
later.
a man is someone with XY chromosomes, but he doesn't have XY chromosomes, yet he's still a man and he still uses preferred pronouns?
It's actually very interesting. In the original Hebrew, Adonai, do you know what Adonai is? It's the Hebrew word for God. It's actually genderless, but in the scriptures, they use he, right? And they use the masculine. Jesus Christ came to earth as a man, not as a woman, not as genderqueer. But let's go back to the...
But God the Father's a man, right? Because all fathers are men.
Well, first of all, there's a trinity. So God the Father is neither man nor woman. He is omniscient, omnipotent. He is all being on top of it.
So why do you use he?
Well, I did not. The scriptures do. You could use woman. You could say her. You could use him, but the way that the language is structured, again, it is so, God the Father is so above gender, it is so above any of our understanding.
Then why use him?
Glory and understanding. Again, because you have to make a choice, either he or him or her in the original scriptures. Let's go back to, I'm happy
some
to get into
fathers
that,
aren't men and boys?
So
some fathers are not men and boys, not men or boys.
I'm sorry.
Some fathers are not male.
No, of course they are. I'm not.
Wait, so God the Father's a male?
Hold on, God the Father. So where do we get God the Father from? What Greek word?
From your scripture.
Well, from Abba, right, which is a very close personal term.
You're not answering my questions, and you're bringing up random language that doesn't matter.
Well, it actually does.
No, it doesn't.
But let me get down to the root of it, because
he's not a man. You know he's not a man under your worldview. Yet you still use his preferred pronouns. You still call him a man.
Christ is a
man.
man.
You don't do that with trans people because you're transphobic. That's why.
Okay, got it. But Christ is a man. I'm happy to get into the sexuality and
Before
gender
incarnation, he's not.
of the Trinity. Okay.
Before incarnation, there's no penis. There's no XY chromosomes. There's no small gametes.
Hold on a second. Let's think about it. If that's correct, how is it then Jacob saw the face of God?
Okay, so if there's
hold on. If there was not before the incarnation, how did Jacob see the face of God? How did Jacob wrestle with God?
Characters can have faces without biology.
How did Jacob wrestle with God?
So okay, do you think that he has a body?
Well,
or was that a figurative notion of wrestle?
That's a mystery of the scriptures. I'm not here. Well, it is. I'm not here to debate theology. Can we go back to what we're talking about?
Does he actually have biology? You keep trying to pivot because you know this debunks you.
Well,
what biology does your God have?
Well, the one of Christ our Lord.
No, I meant before incarnation.
Well, to be honest, I don't quite know, and I don't think the scriptures are.
So you don't know what a man is?
Well,
you can't define what a man is?
It's a little opaque. Again, you're looking at a man.
But your video, the largest video on TikTok is, what is a woman, 20 million views? You don't know what a man is under your own worldview?
I said you're looking at a man, right?
Wait, but God the Father doesn't meet that criteria.
Am I looking at a man?
Yes, you are.
Okay, good. Just making
a man that's beating you in a debate right now.
Okay, that's fine. So let me ask you a question, though. So do you think that anybody can become a woman?
I think that anyone who meets my criteria is a woman.
What's your criteria again?
Again, adult human person that has a desire to be in accordance with a particular set of social and cultural norms that are typically associated with a female.
Can society ever be wrong?
Sure, but like it's a desire to be in accordance with a set of social and cultural norms.
Can I become black if I wear blackface?
No, because it's not a desire that you have to be in accordance with a particular set of social and cultural norms.
What if somebody wants to be black?
Because race is defined phenotypically based upon the expression to other people.
But by some standard, you're judging that.
Do you think there's a phenotypical expression of someone who's white and someone who's black? Like, I see you're white because of your phenotypical expression.
Right. So, but do you think, but Rachel Dolezal that said she is black and culturally black, is she black?
Does she have phenotypically characteristics we would associate
Define
with people who are
phenotypical. I'm not sure what that would mean.
It's going to be the expression.
So
of
melanin
a particular
content, one skin.
Yes.
Okay. So she could pass as a black person.
Wait. So she doesn't have the melanin content.
Borderline.
No?
Heavily.
Okay, so then she's not black.
Okay, so you're able to say who is black and not black?
That's how we define it in society,
Okay, got it. So, but is there an objective definition of who is black?
Wait, language is all subjective. Linguistics professionals indicate it's subjective.
Language is all subjective?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
Every
really?
word you just used was created by other human beings that are engaging in conversation.
Got it. No, now
you
we're-
might think it's created by God, but even then it's still
Got
subjective.
it. But now
because it came from
we're
God.
getting somewhere.
God's a subject.
Now we're getting somewhere. Is the word and the value behind murder objective or subjective?
Well, I think morality is subjective. But you think it's subjective
is.
too
So,
because it comes
hold on.
from God.
That's interesting.
Wait,
So-
does it come from God or independent of God?
Well, no, of course it comes from God. It's
If
transcendent.
that's true,
it's
that's
transcendent
subjective.
human beings.
That's
No, it's not.
subjective. Yes, it is.
No.
If it comes from God, it's specifically subjective. If it comes independent of God, then it's objective.
No,
what
it's
you just told me
God-
is
God is
also
objective
compatible
morality.
with moral anti-realism.
So let's go back to the Ten Commandments.
You don't understand
right?
meta-ethics.
Well, I hold on a second.
What does
Let's just-
subjective morality mean? What does it mean?
Subjective morality
Define
means
it.
that it comes in everybody's own opinion, their own form,
True
not
dependent upon a
objective.
stance.
Again,
God is a stance, and that's the truth
hold on
of
a second.
morality.
So if let's believe. Do you believe in if everybody believed in the concept of God, the transcendent God, that there was a 10 Commandments and we should live by them, right?
So this guy sat down to debate gender and ended up giving a theology lecture instead. His definition of a woman? Anyone who wants to be one. That's right, it's now a spiritual calling, like signing up for sainthood. And to make it airtight, he tells us words don't matter because people invented them, which is hilarious because without words, he wouldn't even be able to call himself an activist. Candace asks the forbidden question, if gender's a choice, why not race? The host's response.
Let's not conflate it with being black. Otherwise, you'd have to defend Rachel Dolezal.
Well, there's no. Well,
Would you defend her?
Well, there's no defending crazy. That's crazy.
Why is that crazy?
Hold on. Because she was a white woman that said she was black.
Yeah, that's a man saying he's a woman.
But let's back up.
If you're gonna say that a man can just be a woman, why can't Rachel Dolezal just be black? You got to be consistent.
Because she's white.
Okay, because it's a man.
No, but hold on. I get it.
You know I'm right.
I get
You know
it.
I'm right.
No, I don't agree. And this is not a matter of right or wrong.
But it is.
Hold on.
This one is.
Let me tell you.
Why isn't Rachel Dolezal black?
Because she's a white woman.
Okay, because it's a male or it's a female.
What?
When Candace pulled out the race card, the activist instantly folded. Instead of answering, he tried to wiggle out with, it's not about right or wrong. Not about right or wrong. Then what is it about vibes and hashtags? That's the beauty of this ideology. When you can't defend it, just declare reality optional. It's less of a debate and more of a live action improv show. Breaking news. A straight man rejects a trans woman, and now it's a human rights violation.
I was at a coffee shop with a friend and I saw a stranger that I thought was really cute and I decided to go up and ask them out. They look at me and they go, oh my gosh, I'm so flattered. That means so much. Thank you. But I'm actually straight. And I said, no worries. And I walked away and I didn't tell them that I am a woman, a trans woman, but I didn't say that. The idea of being rejected and having someone assume my gender felt safer to me than me standing up for myself and saying to the person I'm actually a woman.
Here's the scene. A straight guy says no thanks, and the trans woman reacts like he just broke the Geneva Convention. Sorry, but attraction isn't assigned by committee. You can't legislate desire any more than you can legislate gravity. It's not oppression, it's just how human biology works. Maybe heartbreak is the one thing that's truly equal. At City Hall, an activist says, make the city safe for us, or we'll make it unsafe for you. Ah yes, the classic safety through threats approach.
I need the city to protect me because the federal government won't. And if you think you're afraid of Trump, you should see how afraid of Trump I am.
Can you wrap up, please?
Yes, I can. If you say that you're afraid of Trump and that's why you don't want the city to be a safe space for trans people, you better prepare for trans people to make this a very unsafe space.
Here we have the ultimate logic loop. I'm scared, so I'll scare you. The activist compares Trump to a personal nightmare and then warns the city of trouble if they don't comply. Apparently, the path to peace now runs through intimidation. It's less civil rights and more mafia cosplay, and people wonder why nobody buys the we're the victims routine anymore. Next up, the bathroom debate, because apparently the safest place for women is wherever activists aren't writing the rule.
Wouldn't you think that it would jeopardize my safety though, walking into?
But wouldn't it
restroom?
jeopardize my safety if men identifying as women come into the bathroom and rape women under the guise of transgender?
But
People
Bingo.
who are not true
Exactly.
transgenders. There's people who manipulate and they take what you've gone through and struggled through your life and they take that to their advantage and they say, oh, I'm gonna put a dress on and go in the bathroom and pretend I'm trans, and they haven't actually struggled with gender dysphoria and gone through the problems, and they're taking advantage of the situation, and that's the women that I'm trying to protect. There was a 14-year-old who was raped in a bathroom at her high school, and her dad went by
Let's use essay.
But
yes.
to even further bolster her point too, like I've seen a number of articles where like men will get convicted of crimes and then they will identify as women right before they go to trial, and then they will get sent to women's prisons and they will rape the women that are there at the prison.
And impregnate them.
And impregnate them.
So one woman innocently asked how a man wanting to be a woman affects her safety and instantly gets schooled. The answer is simple, because some men use it as a cover to prey on women. But that woman treats that reality like it's just paranoia. Only in activist logic do bathrooms double as political battlegrounds. When protecting women is seen as offensive, you know the priorities are upside down. Now watch a woman say, puberty blockers are totally reversible. Yeah, like chopping off your brakes is reversible.
You know, puberty blockers are completely reversible. Right?
How are they reversible?
They suppress it temporarily, and then if you go off them, it doesn't affect anything.
Yeah, sure. If a kid went on puberty blockers for, let's say, 3 months and came off, puberty would resume and there wouldn't be too much harm done. But in practice, what happens when these kids go to gender clinics, and we know this from gender clinics statistics themselves, it's pretty much 100% of these kids stay on them. They progress to the cross hormones. They're being sterilized. They're being harmed for life. And if we just left them alone, they would grow out of this. We know this from all the academic studies that were done before they started drugging kids.
One, it's not drugging kids, but two...
What are they? These are drugs. These are chemical castration drugs. It's a prostate cancer drug. It's a drug for endometriosis, for uterine fibroids. It's a drug that's never been approved for these purposes. These are actually gonadotropin-releasing hormone analogs, if you want to get into the specifics of it. And it stops the pituitary gland from releasing a couple hormones, which in turn trigger testosterone in boys or estrogen in girls. So without that, they don't go through puberty. We're experimenting on children, harming them for life. And you think this is okay?
You think that just everybody grows out of it?
So if you look at all the academic studies into gender dysphoria, do you want me to answer your question or not?
Can I just say
okay.
that, you know, not everybody is fully certain that they want to go through a full transition, and that journey is different for everybody. And so a lot of times puberty blockers gives them that little bit of extra time to figure themselves out, and then later, if they decide to continue, then you know, they can go on and be happier. Like, not everybody grows out of, you know, that gender dysphoria, that need to be themselves. And so by saying that it is applicable for everybody, in that you know, it's harmful to everybody, that's not true.
Well, of course it's harmful to everyone.
No,
Stopping
it's
the development
not.
of a child is harmful.
No,
sterilizing children is harmful.
Okay. All right.
Raping children is harmful too, and we don't seem to have an issue.
This is the level of intelligence. Didn't want to hear the answer.
Apparently hormones in a prescription bottle stop being drugs once you rename them. Genius. Big Pharma should try this rebrand with opioids. The funniest part is pretending biology takes polite requests. Puberty doesn't negotiate. But sure, let's just redefine chemicals until they sound like snacks. Sports debate time. An activist explains why men competing as women is totally fair.
Women cannot manipulate. They don't have the physical strength. They don't have the height, the bone density, the endurance to do what men do. And if y'all really think you do, why do we have separate sets of sports? Why do women not compete with men in everything?
I don't know. Right now,
First of all, this is a
there's men.
Do you
government ran by men.
There's no sport
Of course,
that has
they
men and
already
women
divided
together.
us.
Y'all do what y'all want.
From
y'all
the
say
start.
what y'all want.
Yeah. No. If you
Trans
actually look
women are entering
and
women
they're destroying
games.
you guys.
Yeah, they're showing you guys.
Yeah,
Getting
Leah
dumber.
Thomas is a biological male who's competing against women, and he's crushing every single woman. Even in like skateboarding, crushing females. Fighting, crushing females. Surfing, crushing females.
Forget science, forget fairness. Apparently, sports separation is just another conspiracy by the patriarchy, right? Because governments invented biceps. Then, mid-sentence, she sets up a softball for the conservative and he smashes it out of the park. Brutal efficiency. If words were punches, she just got KO'd. In Canada, a trans activist sprinkles glitter on a 12-year-old like it's Pride Fairy dust. The cop wasn't amused and shut that down fast.
You like glitter? It's a party! Guys! I'm not touching.
It's an assault. You're pouring something over their head, whether it's that or whether it's water. It is assault. I'm just telling you, if you do it again, I will have to intervene and you will be escorted out. It's the same as if you drop something on their head. Okay, I'm just telling you, I'm warning. This is your first warning. You're not getting another one? Okay? Okay, that's good.
And I didn't assault.
And I don't want to have to arrest anybody.
Yeah, of course, because I didn't do anything
I don't
wrong.
want to. Okay? I'm just giving you that
Everyone
warning.
was filmed, and I have not done anything wrong.
So you've been warned.
Cool.
Next time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The 12-year-old was standing there calmly, showing more maturity than most adults in the room, while the activist melted down like a toddler denied candy. She had the glitter, but he had the patience. One looked like a child, the other actually was one. And guess who handled it better? Honestly, she just downgraded her own cause to preschool level. Finally, a bathroom standoff.
Is it your intention to run trans people out of the state of Texas? No? Just out of the bathroom.
So apparently, being asked to use the right restroom is the same as being deported. That's some Olympic-level mental gymnastics right there. The woman's answer, calm, sharp, and devastating. No, just out of the bathroom. Sometimes the truth doesn't need a dissertation. It just needs one punchline. And that's today's highlight reel of activist gymnastics. If this is progress, maybe we need a refund. See you in the next one.